Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. Let's continue with my record collection of about 5,800 albums. We're up to the letter K. We're going to be doing 21 artists, 182 albums. I want to show you something. You probably can't see it. This is what 182 albums look like. When I'm sitting here, you have no idea what I'm surrounded with. In fact, behind this huge stack, this whole stack here is only half of the Kinks. And behind it is a whole nother stack over there. So just to give you an idea. So what's in the letter K? Well, some really biggies, the Kinks. You know they are my second or third favorite band. With The Who, I switch off. I got 69 Kinks albums. How about the Knack and Doug Fieger? 22 albums. And Mark Knopfler, 25, 28, 30 albums from Mark Knopfler, not including Dire Straits. We've got a lot to cover. There's one other one that's really big that I'm not going to tell you. You're going to be shocked. A lot of people are going to be surprised. All right, we're going to start off with Kansas. And I got this nice box set from back in the day, the 30th anniversary collection. Only 3 discs, booklet, just okay. It was a fairly early box set. But the nice thing about this one was it's really only a 2 CD set. The third disc is a DVD. And it had stuff from Don Kirshner's rock concert and stuff like that. So, you know, it's okay. Decent box set from Kansas. And then beyond that, really just their classics. Leftoverture, digitally remastered with bonus tracks. If you know my channel, I totally go for that. And let's fix that. And then we got Point of No Return, their other really big album. Again, with bonus tracks remastered. And this is nice. This is 2 for the Show, their famous double live album. But this is the deluxe edition with some bonus tracks and things like that. It's a fine live record. Opens up like that. It's a good live record from Kansas. Like that one. And then I got the Best of Kansas. Now, there's 2 versions of this. This is the remastered version, which has a little bit of a different track listing than the original Best of Kansas. Okay, next up is Karnataka. Who knows Karnataka? Tom, you probably know Karnataka if I remember right. He's a big fan, as am I. Mostly Autumn, this fairly unknown British progressive band, but very melodic. And Karnataka is very similar. And this is their album Delicate Flame of Desire. And then the live record, which I love. I'm a huge live album guy. This is Strange Behavior. Karnataka Live, a 2 CD set. This was a really, really big hit for me. Karnataka, you probably don't know them, but maybe you know them overseas. Here in America, probably not. Jorma Kaukonen, Kwa. This is a phenomenal album, a legendary album from the 70s that all of us listened to when we were growing up. It's awesome. And this has got 4 bonus tracks. Jorma Kaukonen from Jefferson Airplane, but this and Hot Tuna. That's his great solo record, the only one that I have. After that, we got KBC Band, also an offshoot of Jefferson Airplane. And we got Marty Ballin and Jack Cassidy and KBC. It's actually a pretty decent record, although I haven't heard it in a really long time. Yeah, Paul Kantner, Marty Ballin, and Jack Cassidy. Interesting lineup. This was their one and only album, but it's okay. KBC. Let's keep going with Bobby Keys, legendary sax player, most notably Delaney and Bonnie and the Rolling Stones, of course. This is his solo record. It's okay. And Greg Kihn. How about on vinyl? Your love's in jeopardy, baby. Great track. And this is a 12-inch of Jeopardy, which was a pretty big hit in its time. Beyond that, I have The Best of Kihn, an excellent compilation on CD. The breakup song, they don't write them like that anymore. Testify. Fine artist, Greg Kihn. Okay, next up, we got B.B. King. 4 albums from him. Live at the Regal. Live at the Apollo. You can tell I like B.B. King live. Here's a cool one. Deuces Wild did with people like Eric Clapton, Tracy Chapman, Van Morrison, even the Rolling Stones doing Paying the Cost to Beat a Horse. Fine record. And then the album he did with Clapton called Riding with the King. So there is my B.B. King stuff. Next up, we got the legendary Carole King. And what do we got from her? 3 albums. Tapestry, everybody needs that. The remastered version with bonus tracks. It doesn't get any better than that. This is a cool one called the Legendary Demos. Interesting. The original demos of a lot of her classics. And then the Essential Carole King, a 2 CD set. I like how they did this. They got disc 1 as her singing it and performing her songs. And then you got the songwriter, which is songs that she wrote, covered, of course, by all these legendary people, legendary tracks from the great Carole King. After that, we got King Crimson, of which you're going to see I'm a moderate fan. Love the debut, and according to Crimson King, doesn't get much better than that. And then I got the compact King Crimson, which is a nice collection of a lot of their best of stuff through different, versions of the band. Red, it's a cool version of that. I like this one, kind of album reproduction. And then I got Live in Vienna. King Crimson could be a really difficult listen. I do have one other one here, which you probably can see in the background, which is the Essential King Crimson frame by frame, this huge, beautiful box set. If you can see it right there. 4 discs. Looks like that. And really, for me, this and the other ones I showed you is really enough. I do not find them an easy listen. Look at this book, by the way. This is a beautiful booklet. It's 12 by 12, like album side, and it's heavy. And it is fully loaded. Thought it was worthwhile to show you this. This is a really nice box, frame by frame. And it's really, for its time, it really was amazing. Even for this time, this is tremendous. It's even got gigography back here. All the gigs they've played. Pretty cool. And from the legendary Pete Frame, it's even got this, the family tree. You can figure out all the different lineups, of which there's countless. And the 4 discs. This is an excellent box set. And really, for the casual King Crimson fan like me, this and the ones I showed you really are enough for me. All right, let's go deep with the Kings, the one album that I have. The Kings Are Here. And you got to have that for The Beat Goes On, Switching to Glide, the great opening produced by Bob Ezrin, no less. Now, we're going to go into the big time, the Kinks. 69 albums. Let's go through it. We're going to start with the Kinks' Greatest Hits, which was my second album that I ever owned by the Kinks. The first one was Everybody's in Showbiz. All right, let's leave that here for now. And we're going to continue on CD with the Kinks. Remastered bonus tracks. And then the Deluxe Edition with 2 discs. And then we got Kinda Kinks. Remastered with bonus tracks. And if that's not enough, the Deluxe Edition. 2 CDs. How about the Kink Controversy Deluxe Edition. 2 discs. Face to Face, remastered on CD with bonus tracks. Deluxe Edition, 2 discs. Nice packaging. The Kinks have been done so many times, as you can see. Live at Kelvin Hall, their live album from the 60s. Not a very listenable one, really. Something Else by the Kinks, remastered with bonus tracks. Deluxe Edition, 2 discs. And the original one as well. I have all 3 because I'm a huge fan of that album. I really do like Something Else by the Kinks. Let's keep going. How about King Size Kingdom? And one a lot of people are thinking about, the Village Green Preservation Society, remastered with bonus tracks. And then the 3 disc set, which looks like that. You get the mono, the stereo, bonus tracks. Opens up like this. It spreads out a lot. So lots of versions of these. They are not shy about continuously redoing the Kinks albums with box sets and things like that. And they're great. Author, remastered with bonus tracks. Lola versus the Money Go Round, remastered with bonus tracks. Percy, remastered with bonus tracks. And a really excellent compilation from those early years called the Kinks Chronicles on 2 vinyl records and 2 CDs. One of my first ones. This is a boot called The Great Lost Kinks Album. You might look into it on vinyl once in a while for a lot of money. This is a bootleg version. Unreleased tracks, kind of a cool thing at its time. That was the end of the Kinks era at that point. Then they go to RCA. And that's what we're up to with Muswell Hillbillies, a great one. The first Kinks album I ever owned on 8-track. Everybody's in Showbiz. I have done lots of Kinks videos, so you could check out playlists of artist discographies. You'll see going through all the Kinks albums. Again, this is a 2 CD version of Everybody's in Showbiz. How about Preservation Act 1 remastered, bonus tracks, and Preservation Act 2 remastered with bonus tracks. That's how I roll. Soap Opera remastered with bonus tracks. Everybody, what is this? Schoolboys in Disgrace. Starting to get a little bit more commercial at this point. Remastered. And then they put out on vinyl a good compilation of those RCA years. On vinyl, it was called Celluloid Heroes. It looks like that. I kept that vinyl because when they put it out on CD, remastered, they threw a lot of extra tracks on there, which is fine, but sometimes you want that shorter version. Now they go to Clive Davis on Arista. I've done videos just on the Arista years. I've done videos on every era of the Kinks. You should check out artist discographies. There's a lot of Kinks videos. Here's Sleepwalker, one of my all-time favorites, remastered with bonus tracks. Next up was Misfits, and I kept the vinyl because it's very different than the CD versions, which you will see. Here's a couple of bootlegs. Midlife Crisis, a legendary radio show from around that Sleepwalker time. And here's the Christmas concert, Celluloid Heroes Christmas concert, another legendary bootleg from around that time. And I showed you Misfits on vinyl. Here is the digitally remastered on CD, and I kept it because Live Life is very different on the CD version than the original vinyl. And here is an SACD version of Misfits with bonus tracks. Now they're starting to make it here in America big way, and 1979 they give us low budget and they finally crack it and we get to see them play in arenas. There's remastered with bonus tracks. Here's the live one. Came with a DVD, which I have, of the video. One for the Road, great live record from that time. Give the people what they want. Possibly my favorite from the Arista years. Great album. State of Confusion. Bonus tracks. Word of Mouth. Here is an SACD version of that. A very underrated album, gotta say, with bonus tracks. And if you want to get a compilation of those Arista years, 2 different versions of Come Dancing with the Kinks and different track listings. There's the original CD, there's the remastered one. They are different, so if you're a Kinks fanatic, you gotta have both, sort of. Here's a promo called Limited Edition Compilation 2, and this is when they were sending them out. They did some tracks from soap operas, Schoolboys in Disgrace, Sleepwalker, and Misfits. And here's another compilation. Here is 2 CDs, the Come Dancing with the Kinks, the Celluloid Heroes, and One for the Road. In fact, it's on DVD, so nice collection. Greatest hits 70 to 86. They go to MCA and they put out Think Visual. And here is a bootleg called Paranoia and Destroya. Right there. They did release his official live record called Live the Road, and it's a really good live record. I like it a lot. Got Clichés of the World, Art Lover. And then they did UK Jive with How Do I Get Close. Thought that was going to be a hit. I was wrong. And a compilation from the MCA years, all of 3 albums, Lost and Found, 86 to 89. Working at the Factory, one of the greatest songs. They go to Columbia, and they put out an EP called Didya? And then they do the full album of Phobia. It was a little bit long for my taste, but it was okay. And that's the final studio record. Some other stuff to show you. The singles collection. 2-disc set. Really loaded with tracks, as you can see. The songs of Ray Davies, Waterloo Sunset. Here's a bootleg. Alive and Well and Playing in Westbury, the Kinks. There's nothing better than getting a bootleg of a show you were at. And I was at this show, and it was awesome. To the Bone, the UK version. They put this out independently, and it's a great sort of version of Unplugged, although it does get electric. Here was the US version. They spread it out to 2 CDs and different track listing. They're both excellent albums to the bone. Here was one called the BBC Sessions, 1964 to 77. The Kinks on the BBC, 2 discs. That was pretty exciting until they put out this monster called the Kinks at the BBC. This amazing box set has got how many discs? Jeez whiz. 6 discs, 5 CDs, and a DVD. And the DVD is cool. You get to see them live, including that bootleg from the 77 show, that Christmas concert right there. This thing is loaded. So if you really love the Kinks, you get the whole box. If you don't need all of that, you can go for the 2-disc set with the Kinks at the BBC. My favorite compilation is this one, the Ultimate Collection. Probably my most played Kinks album, believe it or not. They work really well with a good compilation. This one covers a lot of their career, pretty much their whole career, most of it. And this is a great one, and it's relatively inexpensive out there. Here's Couch Potatoes, a bootleg of rare performances, soundboard stuff. And here's another one, live on WNEW from Electric Ladyland in 1993. As you can see, can't have enough Kinks, can you? Here's another bootleg called 12 Inches or More. Rare versions, 12-inch versions of their singles, which are very different than the regular versions. And I went to see them with my family in London for their show called Sunday Afternoon. I knew it was never going to play in America. And this is the soundtrack to that Broadway show. Oh, what do you call it? West End over there? And it was a great show. And I bought the soundtrack. And then one more, I can't stand these. It's a compilation called Waterloo Sunset, the very best of the Kinks and Ray Davies. Well, what is it? Is it Ray Davies or is it the Kinks? It's kind of both. Don't really like that. I like to separate it out. There you go, 69 Kinks albums. Hope you enjoyed that. Next up is going to be a surprise for a lot of people, and that's Kiss. I have 25 Kiss albums. I never talk about Kiss. I don't actually even consider myself really a big Kiss fan. But over the years, I've come to appreciate them. I like reading Gene Simmons' books and his work ethic and his story, how he came here with his mother with nothing as an immigrant and working and the American dream, and he's so pro-American, and how it worked out, and doesn't do drugs or anything like that. And it kind of gave me more respect. He's so obnoxious sometimes, but at the same time, you know, I like what him and Paul Stanley did. So anyway, here's the original Kinks album, all remastered. And then we got Hotter Than Hell right there. All of these are the remasters. They did a nice job on them. Here's Dressed to Kill, the 3rd album, all remastered. Kiss Alive right there. An excellent studio record. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean a live album, but it is a good record. Classic album, right? There's Kiss Destroyer from Bob Ezrin. Love Gun. These are really, you'll see I pretty much have those classic, you know, Kiss albums that most people would consider their classics. Here's Kiss Alive 2, interesting one. Fine live performances plus a side of studio releases. When it comes to their solo records, I have Ace Frehley. And that's when I had New York Groove. That's a great track. And then I got the Gene Simmons one. That's the only 2 that I have from the solo records. Dynasty, which I actually don't mind. They do the Stones' 2000 Man, and they do a real good version of it. And here's Unmasked, remastered, Shandy. Double Platinum, this is a remastered version of that. They kind of reproduced the vinyl album, and on 1 CD, they did a nice job on that. And I think, there you go, if you can see. And then the controversial, the Elder. Let me know if you want me to do a treasure or trash. If any album is made for treasure or trash, this one is. This is one that I loved. I loved the performance, and I loved the soundtrack of it. This is Kiss Unplugged, and I thought this was a great performance. They sound really good. And I liked it so much I had to get a bootleg called Kiss Unplugged. And this is a full-length version of them. Here's Kiss Alive 3, Latter Day Stuff. And they took their makeup off. Here's Psycho Circus. Gotta love that artwork right there. Look at how great that is. And it's actually not a terrible album. Here's Alive 4 with the symphony orchestra. I am a sucker when bands play with orchestras and they get all symphonic. The Kiss one I wasn't overly thrilled with. Here's a compilation, the very best of Kiss. Looks like that. And the cheap Millennium edition. But I got this one because this focuses on the latter day stuff when they took the makeup off, which I'm not really a huge fan of. It's more than I need. I actually saw them live for this tour, Sonic Boom, and I actually thought this was a killer studio record. I really like this one. And this is a double deluxe edition, 3 discs on here. They recovered some of the classic tracks on there. This is when they got Tommy Thayer on lead guitar and vocals. This is a really good record, I gotta say. Modern Day Delilah. The one I did after that was Monster, which I was not as much of a fan of. That's also a 3D cover if you look. And then we got Kiss Gold, Everything You Can Need on 2 discs. So yeah, for a guy who never talks about Kiss, I got a whopping 25 Kiss albums. Go figure. Okay, next up is Michael Kiwanuka. And I got 3 albums of his, Home Again, and Kiwanuka, which I love. This was a huge hit for me. Went top 3. No, this is the one that went top 3. Love and Hate. I love this album. This was a huge hit for me. Love this one. But these are fine artists. 3 albums from Michael Kiwanuka. And I skipped Kitaro, a double collection of the best of 10 years, it's called. The best of Kitaro. Kind of new agey, mellow kind of music. And it works. It's good. Okay, we are up to a shocker. Doug Fieger and the Knack, a 22 albums. Go figure. Let's check it out. The debut, Get the Knack, doesn't get any better than this. This is the remastered edition with bonus tracks. Amazing. I have done videos on the Knack. You could check it out. Did a whole thing on them. The second album, Japanese import on vinyl, But the Little Girls Understand, an album that gets no respect at all, but it's actually a really good album, except Babies Talk Dirty kind of killed it because it was kind of a redo of My Sharona with lousy lyrics. But this is a fine record. They actually did both albums at the same time. Next up is the third record, and that was a fine release, Cole, Round Trip. Check out Africa. If you never heard the song Africa from the Knack, you wouldn't believe it. It is killer, but it's a really good record. And then this is a 12-inch of Art, War, and Time, and Africa. That is the track. Check it out. You will thank me in the morning. Beyond that, this is a great promo called Get the Knack Again. And this is 4 discs when they redid Get the Knack, But the Little Girls Understand, Round Trip, and Serious Fun, all remastered with bonus tracks. That is a cool disc that I was lucky to find. Normal as the Next Guy is another album that they did. And this one was a good one called Zoom. Fine release. They're a killer band. Great musicians. He's a fine songwriter. This is a great live bootleg called Live in New York. That was never released. This was a radio broadcast. It was great. Serious Fun. This is a more rockin' album. And Live from the Rock and Roll Funhouse from the more latter day Knack, but still really good performance. And Having a Rave Up, live in Los Angeles, 1978. They released this a few years ago, and a good early show. And here's an album they put out of demos. Rock and Roll is Good for You, the Fieger Avir demos, and they're really good. And then you get to Doug Fieger solo. This is called First Things First. Not a particularly good cover, but it's him young, and he's a really good songwriter. He just knows how to do it. Here's Doug Fieger Forever Together, a compilation of solo stuff. Over 30 unreleased tracks, it says, on 2 discs. Looks 3 discs. 3 discs this was, Doug Fieger. Yeah, I'm a really big fan. This is what's on there if you want to look. So, demos and all kinds of cool things. Plus that solo record I just showed you is on there again. And then you got the Knack live from the House of Blues in 2001. That was, I think they put that on vinyl as a record store day release at one point. And then if you want to get into the Knack, you could always go for a compilation. There's 2 really good ones. There is Proof, the very best of the Knack, which looks like that. And then you could always get this one, Retrospective, And they're actually very different. So get one like this one. It's got Africa. You got to hear Africa from Round Trip. It's great. Okay, there you have the Knack, 22 albums. What are we up to? We are up to the great Mark Knopfler. You know, Dire Straits is one of my favorite bands. Hard to believe that Mark Knopfler has 28, 30 albums. Let's check you out. Golden Heart, his first solo record, which I loved. And this was, what is this? A radio thing called Words and Music, a promo that I got. Sailing to Philadelphia, promo version of that. The Reg, what is that? The Reg Picker's Dream. And this is a 2 CD version of it. Why I Man? Shangri-La. All of these were really good. I love the first one in particular. This was a strong one for me. Kill to Get Crimson. Some of them did better than others for me. You know, he gets kind of samey like most artists after a while, so they're not quite as exciting as they were initially. This is Get Lucky. But all of them have some really good songs. This is a really nice package for privateering. This is the deluxe edition, 3 discs, nice booklet, and a whole lot of material on here. This is what you could find on the 3-disc version. There's disc 1, there's disc 2, and a bonus of disc 3. So, you know me, I tend to go for the deluxe edition stuff. Okay. Oh, I forgot some box sets I got to show you. Okay, let's keep going. Mark Knopfler. Here's Tracker. And a deluxe edition of that, where you buy the deluxe edition, you get 4 extra tracks. And here's the One Take Radio Sessions. And Down the Road Wherever. He is nothing if not prolific. And then the most recent one, One Deep River. I got the deluxe edition of that. 2 discs. Another really fine record. Again, you know, it just doesn't have that same excitement from when he first started out for me, but he's certainly such a quality artist. We're not done with Mark Knopfler. Here's a bootleg called Guitar Dreams, stuff that you just can't find anywhere else, live stuff. Here's an album we did with Chet Atkins called Neck and Neck, and the Notting Hillbillies. Gotta love that one. That's a fun one. And a live Notting Hillbillies bootleg called Swan Hunter. And another bootleg of the Notting Hillbillies, A Friendly Funny Night, recorded live in 1980. Gotta love Mark Knopfler, just doesn't want to be a rock star. Here's the 2 that he did with Emmylou Harris. Mark Knopfler and Emmylou Harris, All the Road Running. This was a huge hit for me. This is a great one, and the live one's pretty good too. Real live road running, and you got the DVD of the concert and the CD, not quite of the whole concert. And it's awesome. He works so well with Emmylou. Loved it. And then, how about the movie soundtracks? That's how you get up to 30 Mark Knopfler albums. You got Local Hero, his most famous one, and probably the best one. Here's Cal. And The Princess Diaries, right there. And Last Exit to Brooklyn. And a compilation of the first 4 soundtrack albums. This is called Screenplaying, with music from Local Hero, Cal, Princess Bride, and Last Exit to Brooklyn. And then Wag the Dog. Metroland. All of these are Mark Knopfler soundtracks. And A Shot at Glory. And with Evelyn Glennie, Altamira. That's the last one that he did soundtrack-wise. And then, I hate these, kind of like the Kinks Ray Davies one. The Best of Dire Straits and Mark Knopfler, Private Investigations. I filed it under Dire Straits, but it's got Mark Knopfler stuff on here as well. Whew! There you go. There's 2 box sets I forgot. We'll get to them. Let's keep going. We're heading towards the end. We got Alexis Corner's Blues Incorporated, Red Hot from Alex. My only Alexis Corner's Blues Incorporated album. How about Leo Kottke, the only Leo Kottke I have. This is the retrospective, the Leo Kottke anthology on Rhino. 2 discs. It is still in my backlog, this one. Looking forward to that. I got 2 from Kraftwerk. I got the legendary Autobahn remastered version in a slipcase. Didn't think I was going to like it, but I really liked it. It was great. My first Kraftwerk album. Then I got this live one called Minimum Maximum. This one I don't quite like as much. I'm on the fence with this one. And last up is Lenny Kravitz. I'm just not a huge fan. I've gotten some of his other albums. I wound up dumping them. I think he's the real deal. He worked with Mick Jagger. He's a major talent, but all I need from him is the greatest hits, and honestly, I just never really listened to it. But it's really good for what it is. What did I forget? This Kiss box right here. And a really nice box. I think they put this out in a guitar case. But they always give their money's worth to their fans. Check out this book. This song-by-song analysis in depth. I mean, this is beautiful. They really do. Part of the reason why I kind of like Gene Simmons, you know, they don't shortchange their fans. And there it is. The Kiss box, 4 discs. It looks like that. How many discs are in here? I'm wrong. 5 discs. 5 discs. Their whole history, including Wicked Lester, previously unreleased stuff. This is really an excellent box set. And then this one from the Kinks, I forgot to show you when I did the Kinks. Picture book. This is a great one. And this one is 6 discs, the whole history of the Kinks. And they got so many periods. But it's really all covered on here. All the way through To the Bone and Phobia. And from the very beginning. And comes with a nice book too. Nothing like that Kinks book. But this is the book that comes in there. It's pretty good. It's got a small print, so it covers a lot of ground. And reproduction of the singles, and it goes through album by album. Yeah, it's really good. Alrighty, so there you have it in 32 minutes. We covered a lot of ground. 182 albums, 21 artists. Let me know what you think. I think we covered it. As always, I appreciate you watching. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe. And go to my playlist, Artist Discographies. There's a lot of Kinks videos. There's a great Knack video in there as well that you could find. Go to Artist Discographies. And a lot of Kinks videos, like I said. As always, thank you so much. Send your comments. Love watching them and responding to them and what you think I'm missing and all of that good stuff. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you next time on the Alan Rosenberg Show. And again, thanks so much.